Are you wondering whether home prices will decline or when it might be the right time for you to buy a home? Well, then this video is for you. In this video, we'll cover the housing market forecast for March 2023, inventory challenges, whether there will be a housing market crash, and if now is the right time for you to buy a home. Before we move forward, if you find my content useful, please take the time to smash that like button and subscribe to get notified when other videos get released. Okay, let's get into it. The declining mortgage rates trend that brought back some prospective buyers to the market in the first month of 2023 has ended, at least for now. Home sale prices responded by continuing their downward slide. However, many economists remain mixed about how much more home prices will drop this year. For one, the nation's housing supply remains limited. Those who purchased homes in recent years at record low interest rates are staying put. Moreover, new home constructions fell again in January, compounding the long-standing inventory problem. Tight inventory issues in part are keeping prices from dropping off, which is perpetuating affordability challenges for many, especially first-time home buyers. Though home prices remain high year over year, they're not as eye-popping as they once were in early 2022. Even so, how much further home prices dip in 2023 will likely depend on where mortgage rates go. So let's take a look at the housing market forecast for March of 2023. As we move through the early part of 2023, housing experts maintain a watchful eye on the economy, which continues to be pulled in all directions by high inflation, steep interest rates, and ongoing geopolitical uncertainties and recession fears, just to name a few. Yet, even as home prices appear to be coming back to earth after a meteoric rise over the last couple years, high interest rates coupled with appreciated home values still make it difficult for many prospective buyers to access affordable housing. According to economic analysts at Realtor.com, home prices remained 8.1% higher than the previous year, which coupled with mortgage rates up more than 250 basis points in the same time period meant that buyers are still positioned to pay much more for a home than a year prior. The median existing home sales price was up 1.3% to $359,000 in January compared to a year ago, according to the National Association of Realtors, or NAR. Though this is the 131st consecutive month of year-over-year price increases, a record streak, the increase was at a slower pace compared to December. Month-over-month existing home sale prices continued their downward trend and are roughly 13% lower than their record high at $413,800 from June of 2022. In the meantime, mortgage rates ticked up again, erasing much of the recent declines after hitting a 20-year high of 7.08% in the fall. Mortgage rates saw an increase across all loan types in the last 2 weeks, with 30-year fixed rate being hiked up by 23 basis points to 6.62%, the highest rate since November of last year. At the same time, total existing home sales dropped by 0.7% from December to January, marking the 12th consecutive month of declining sales, and down 36.9% from a year ago, according to NAR. Despite mixed messages, some experts say that home shoppers have a reason to be hopeful. Robert Frick, a corporate economist at Navy Federal Credit Union, stated that while sales are still depressed from a year ago, this shows another crack in the housing market that should benefit potential home buyers, especially when mortgage rates drop. Coupled with the rising interest rates, the housing inventory is also a challenge. The low housing inventory has been this way since the 2008 housing crash, when the construction of new homes plummeted. It hasn't fully recovered, and it won't in 2023. Housing supply has remained stagnant at near historic lows and has propped up demand compared to other downturns, resulting in the sustaining of higher home prices. At the current sales pace, inventory is at a 2.9-month supply, according to NAR. This figure is unchanged from December, though up from 1.6 months a year ago. Based on this and other data, industry experts have a gloomy outlook on when inventory will eventually normalize, most believing that we'll continue to see low inventory throughout 2023, with 70% of homeowners sitting on a mortgage rate of 4% or less. We're unlikely to see an increase of homes this year. At the same time, there are mixed signals in the home building realm. Single-family home construction starts in January were down 4.3% from December, and applications for home building permits declined by 1.8% from the previous month, according to preliminary data from the U.S. Census Bureau and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. That's a sluggish start for new construction, and yet the latest Builder Outlook data reflected optimism. The latest National Association of Home Builders and Wells Fargo Housing Market Index, which tracks builder sentiment, rose 7 points, from 35 to 42. This is the second month-over-month increase following 12 consecutive months of declines. Even so, builder confidence is still low. 50 or above means more builders see good conditions ahead, so there will need to be more consecutive upticks before we see a significant rebound in new construction. At the end of the day, there really isn't a likely scenario that suggests inventory levels will approach normal numbers in 2023, which means that prospective home buyers are still going to have to work hard to find something to buy. Despite the tight inventory, we're also in a window where buyers have a better chance to negotiate a deal due to sluggish sales keeping homes on the market longer. In some cases, buyers may find that they're able to purchase a home at 10% off the original list price, according to NAR. So the question everyone is wondering, will the housing market crash? Due in part to the ongoing inventory problem keeping home prices elevated, many economists predict that the housing market is more likely to correct itself from the double-digit percentage jump seen in the home prices the past few years rather than a crash. However, some housing market watchers believe that homes in some areas could see sales and price growth, particularly in locations where home prices have remained affordable over the past few years in relation to median income. Other experts point out that today's homeowners also stand on much more secure footing than those coming out of the 2008 financial crisis, with a high number of borrowers having positive equity in their homes. Consequently, the likelihood of a housing market crash is low. In a housing market crash, you typically see a 20 to 30% drop in home prices and a decline in home sales, far more than what's currently happening. Another crash symptom that's been missing is a jump in foreclosure activity. Even with the steady rise in foreclosures that resulted after the expiration of the COVID-19 foreclosure moratorium in September of 2021, foreclosures remain below pre-pandemic levels. In 2022, foreclosures were down 34% compared to 2019. For January of this year, foreclosures were up 36% from a year ago and up 2% from December and January. The key difference now compared to the 2008 housing crisis is that many homeowners, and even those struggling to make payments, have had a large boost to their home values in recent years. That means that they still have equity in their home and are not underwater when you owe more than what the house is worth. According to many experts, borrowers in foreclosure are leveraging the positive equity in their home by refinancing their home or selling for a profit. So, should you buy a home in 2023? Buying a home in any market is a highly personal decision. Because homes represent the largest single purchase most people will make in their lifetime, it's crucial for you to be in solid financial position before you dive in. Use a mortgage calculator to estimate your monthly housing costs based on your down payment and interest rate. Trying to predict what might happen this year is not the best home buying strategy. Buyers sitting on the sidelines today in anticipation for lower prices tomorrow may end up disappointed. Instead of waiting for much lower prices, experts suggest buying a home based on your budget and needs. If you find a home in an area that you love and that also fits your budget, then chances are it might be the right one for you. However, if you make too many sacrifices just to get a house, you may end up with buyer's remorse, potentially forcing you to offload the house. Now that you have a better idea of the state of the housing market, here are some tips for whether you're buying or selling a home in today's market. For buyers, start with the budget and stick with it. Even with a slight uptick in the number of homes for sale, buyers are still facing elevated prices and mortgage rates nearing 7%. The biggest thing right now is that there's a disconnect between buyers and sellers. Buyers want to get a great deal, and sellers want last year's price. While buyers are getting a bit more breathing room now, they should consider the market that they're in while they review their options with a real estate professional. Now, if you're a seller, the first step for a successful sale is to find a listing agent that knows the area and comes highly recommended. A good agent will work closely with you to price your home competitively while fielding questions and offers from prospective buyers. Even though the market may still be tipped in your favor, it is in your best interest to present your home in the best possible light. Not everyone has cash dedicated to renovate and repair, but a little sweet equity could go a long way. The first step is to declutter, organize, and clean. Even if your home is outdated, a clean space gives buyers a chance to envision the house's potential. If you need more detail on any of the topics we've covered today, feel free to reach out and connect with me. My contact details are in the description below. Finally, if you found this content useful, do me a huge favor. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.